Hey guys, come on in. Let me know if you can see me, you can hear me. If you're in the chat, I just want to make sure all of my technology is working before I get started. First time I've used this program. So let's see. Have my laptop so I can see comments. But let me know if you can hear me and you can see me before we go ahead and get started. Okay. Can you hear me, Kelly, or you can only see me? Okay, so glad. A few people said yes. Okay, good. Okay, we can go ahead and get started. I'm so excited that all you have come to join me. So if you can, just put your name in the chat. Tell me where you're from, where you're watching from, and what's the weather like. It's very rainy over here in South Louisiana. We're supposed to have a tropical storm this weekend. It did not come to my hometown, thankfully. We had a nice little shower today. So let me know what your name is and where you're watching from. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started, and I'm gonna share my screen with you. I hope to not keep you too long and at least give you some information that you can use. So again, I'm new to this technology. Hopefully it doesn't mess up. We shall see. Okay, let me see. I think we should see my screen and me as well. Hopefully I'm not too big or too small to where you can still see the screen. Let's try this. Now we got it. Again, new technology, guys. Thanks for working with me. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started with our Cultivate Back to School Success with O.P.S. And I just want to thank you for taking time out of your Monday night, whether you're still in school or not, to join me to learn these new tricks, okay? I'm watching on my laptop as well to see if I miss any comments. Oh, Betsy says she's from South Carolina, hot and humid. Melissa from Texas, bright and sunny. Isn't it always sunny in Texas unless it's snow apocalypse, right? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. And again, thank you all for being here. This is my first live webinar, so I'm a little anxious but excited that I have something to share with you. So first of all, you are absolutely in the right place if you are the last car in the parking lot every day. I've been guilty of making those Instagram stories where I'm walking to my car, like, oh, look, I'm the last one in the parking lot. That's like not something to be proud of, right? But I've done that. I've been the first car and I've been the last car in the parking lot. You're also in the right place if you feel like you're like putting out fires all day. Like you're constantly just getting through the next hour, and still feeling like you're barely above water. You're also in the right place if you're bringing home loads of work each day. And now I still bring home my school bag every day, but there's not lots of work in it every day. So if you're constantly bringing home work every day and you're just exhausted from doing that, you are in the right place. If you have a desk full of papers and then you sit down to like eat your lunch or drink your coffee, you can barely find a place to put it down, you are in the right place. And if your to-do list haunts you at night, if you're constantly worried that you didn't do this, you didn't do something on your list, you are absolutely in the right place. That to-do list can be so looming and it can be so overwhelming, but I'm here to help you. So first thing I want you to do is tell me a little bit about yourself. Which one of these describes you? So in the chat, put a 1, 2, or 3. A 1 meaning you are a brand new teacher, meaning no years to 2 years. A 2 meaning I have a few years under my belt, 3 to 10 years. And 3 meaning I'm an OG, I have over 10 years. So tell me in the chat which one you are. I am just finished up year 10. So I will be starting year 11 in the fall already, which is kind of scary. But let me know in the chat which one you are, and I really think I can help you no matter which one you are. So my chat is a little bit delayed, which of course this is a free little streaming program I'm using, so of course it's delayed. But I can't wait to see how many brand new teachers we have. Oh, Betsy says she's a 3, over 10 years of experience, so is Kelly. and I have a couple of 2s and more 3s and another 2. I love that the OGs are still here. Like, yes, I still need help. I maybe have been teaching for 10 years, but we all know that the only consistent thing in education is change, right? So we always want to make sure we're changing to be better for our students. So I'm glad we have some 2s and 3s. So you know that you need a plan. So whether you're a brand new teacher, you're a veteran, or you're in between, whether you're a 1, 2, or 3, you know that you need some kind of a plan. You know that in order to create an organization and productivity system for your class, you're going to need a plan. And if you watch my 3-day video series, we talk a lot about making sure that over the summer, we're thinking about things we can do to get a head start. You know, as teachers, we never turn our brains off. We're constantly thinking about how we can be better. We're naturally reflective educators. So we want to make sure that we're spending this time, of course, relaxing, number one, but you know you don't turn it off completely. You want to be using that time to think about your plan and how you're going to tackle the school year and just be successful. So, however, you're probably second guessing yourself and you're like asking these questions like, okay, what do I do with all the papers that pile up on my desk? Because it can be a lot. You go to your teacher mailbox every morning and there's a stack of papers. You want to make sure you're passing them out at the right time. You know that they're giving you things at meetings, and then you come back from a meeting and you automatically start teaching on your plan after your planning. So of course things pile up on your desk. What do I do with all that? How do I control the amount of clutter in student desk? I have been teaching 5th grade for all of my 10 years. I always have taught multiple classes, and that can become a mini storage for students' things, their desk. It just becomes like a mini storage. There's constantly different things in there. They have, they'll put pencils in there, their colors, their random worksheets from their other classes. So how do we control that clutter in the student desk? Like, how do I get my students to not do it? I'm doing other things, keeping my area clean. How can I make them accountable for theirs? And you might be asking yourself, where do I begin when I actually have a planning period to myself? I used to work at a school where there was one day a week where I didn't have to meet with some kind of team person content area. One day a week. So I had to figure out a way to make that one day a week beneficial to me. Make sure I was tackling all of the things on my list as much as I can, so I didn't have to work after work or work at home or, outside of contract hours. So where do we begin when we actually have a planning period for yourself? I'm blessed to be at a school now where we have multiple ones by ourselves, but I still make sure that I'm very intentional whenever I have a planning period to myself. And you may also be asking, how do I hold my students accountable for their part in the classroom organization? Let's be real, they're in their classroom just as much as you. They need to have a role in keeping that classroom organized. Whether they're younger or older, they can all play a role in it. If you're leaving at the end of the day feeling like they just left your room a mess, like there was a party in that room and you didn't even get to attend it, then that is the issue that we can work on. It doesn't have to be embarrassing when the janitor comes in at the end of the day to sweep. My first year, I graduated mid-year. I taught all the subjects in 5th grade, and when the janitor would come in, I was embarrassed because there was papers everywhere, there was crayons, there was broken pencils, stuff was everywhere, and I felt terrible that I didn't have expectations in place to actually keep them accountable for their part in classroom organization. So this is all part of a plan that you need to have in order to make sure that you have a successful year. So I'm going to go ahead and start, but if you stay the entire time, I want to be honest with you, I will be giving you an invitation to join my program to help you create an organization and productivity system for your classroom. And if you join today during this webinar, you will receive 2 very exclusive bonuses. So if you join today, and I did have some people join earlier today in my program, and they will get this bonus too. So if you're watching, you will get this bonus. But if you join today, you will get 2 exclusive bonuses. Now, the first bonus is interview and resume tips with Michelle Martinez. Michelle is an awesome teacher mentor that helps teachers get started in the classroom, and she has created a freebie for anyone who joins my program for how they can land that interview and have great resume details on it to beef up your resume and get that job interview you want. And the second exclusive bonus, which I'm very excited about, is my great friend Dawn Ellis from Cultivating Exceptional Minds. She is a phenomenal special education teacher. If you do not follow her and you teach special ed, you have to follow her. But she has created a bonus for anyone who joins my program on reducing classroom spending by writing and funding grants. She will walk you through writing and funding a grant. So this is great for when you're trying to find things to keep your classroom organized. There's things you want to purchase, but the budget is limited. She will help you write and get your grant funded. Okay, so if you stay the entire time, these two bonuses will be included if you join my program today. So let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself. And you may be wondering how I became an organization and productivity professional. I am Christy. I am a 5th grade full-time math teacher in South Louisiana. I am still in the classroom full-time and will be going back to work August 5th. I have been teaching 5th grade for 10 years. Taught 4th grade for 1 year, looped with a group of kids back to 5th grade. I've taught all subjects, but mostly have taught math, science, and social studies. At my most stressful point, I was teaching math, science, and social studies to 2 groups of students, and now I just teach math to 3 groups of students. So this is going to be my 11th year, and I have always been very good at being productive, multitasking, and organizing things. But it wasn't until I had my son in 2017, when I returned from maternity leave, that I realized staying late and coming extra early was just not going to work. It had to be one or the other. And I could no longer bring my things home with me, because there were times where I was at the kitchen table, doing work, and my husband was bathing my newborn child. That's not what I wanted. I wanted to be able to be home and be there, not be there physically, but not mentally. So I became kind of obsessed with making sure I got as much done as I could at work during my contract hours. Now, am I telling you I never stay late or I never go in early? That is absolutely not what I'm telling you. But the days of staying 30, 45, an hour after school does not happen anymore. I am always following the buses out. Right after we put our students on the bus, I'm following them out, and I'm at work about 30 to 45 minutes before my contract time begins. And I'm dedicated to helping other teachers in my building. I've mentored a few teachers in my building on how they can do it as well. It kind of became, Christy, how do you do this? How do you do this? And then I decided, I need to create a program to help other teachers learn the tips and tricks that are just kind of second nature to me. I want to be able to help you and coach you. And if you trust me and join my program, I believe that we can make a total transformation in how much time you spend doing work outside of work. Because let's be honest, I have never, ever received overtime in my 10 years that I've been a teacher. So if you have, let me know in the comments, because I'm interested. But I don't get paid overtime. We don't even clock out. We just clock in to say that we're there. So first of all, if you came to all 3 of my videos and the Plan, Teach, Prosper video series, and you messaged me the words were Plan, Teach, and Prosper, you had a chance to win a $25 Amazon gift card. And I just want to real quick say that winner is Amy Almonte, if I said your name right. If you can, email me at christydarosdigital@gmail.com. Let me know that you won, and I will go ahead and send over your $25 Amazon gift card. So if you missed the video series, it will be up for another week. So please go check it out. There's tons and tons of tricks and techniques and things that I have given you, actionable steps that you can start with this summer to get your classroom organized. Okay. Again, you can find me on Instagram at Christy Darosh Digitals, and as well as my Facebook. Please reach out. Let's connect. Any questions you have, I'm absolutely here for you. Okay? So let's go ahead and start by talking about the 3 biggest struggles I see when it comes to classroom organization and productivity. I'm going to warn you, there's probably a 2-year-old outside the door. I'm a mom, so hopefully he doesn't come in, but we'll see. Anyways, so I see these 3 biggest struggles when it comes to classroom organization and productivity. And the number one I see is holding students accountable for their part in classroom organization. We talked about this briefly a couple seconds ago, but this is extremely important. You have to absolutely set your mindset that these students will not leave your room if it is not how you want it to be left. So my students do not line up for planning. I guess you could call it specials. They do not line up for lunch or recess or dismissal or anywhere else that we go, whether it be an assembly, until my room is straightened up. And I mean, nothing is on the floor. Nothing is inside of their desk unless I tell them, like, we're coming right back, put it inside your desk. All their book bags are on top of their desk. I mean, on the back of their chair. And if they have things on top of their desk because we're coming back, everything has to be in a nice, neat stack. So this is a very clear expectation I have from day one. And, oh, okay, guys, it's time to line up for planning. I usually give them, beginning of the year, probably about 5 minutes to get this room back to pristine like it should be. And we talk about what it should look like. And then probably towards the middle to the end of the year, it's only taking them 2 minutes, if that. So usually I'll tell them, guys, it's 9:38, 9:40, we need to be out the door. Everybody's desk needs to be straightened, nothing on the floor, nothing, your school bags on the back of your chair. I don't like school bags on the floor. Especially with COVID, they were constantly coming in and cleaning our desks, so I didn't want anything on the desk to stop them from being clean. So this high expectation I have for my students, I think has really kind of set the bar, like, okay, Miss Darrell does not like her stuff messed up. She doesn't like things messy. We're going to make sure we're accountable. And I've even had new students come in the middle of the year, and my other students are like, no, it's not how we do it. That has to be in a nice, neat stack. Everything has to be nice and neat. Another biggest struggle I see with teachers is a looming to-do list. And this is where creating a productivity schedule will really help you. So my to-do list is nonstop. I'm always adding something to it, whether it be from my phone or in my planner or a notepad on my desk. I'm always adding something to it. So you want to make sure that you're creating a productivity system to where you can batch as many things as possible. You don't want to be creating your I can statements and your PowerPoints and your tests and your lesson plans all at the same time. I like to create all the lesson plans, all the tests for a couple of tests. I'm not saying all of them. And then I create all of my I can statements. If you batch these things together, it will absolutely help you because you're in that mind frame. Okay, I'm creating all my assessments right now. Let's go. Or, I need to do all of my test folders. Also, if you have deadlines for specific things, for example, we send home our test folders, like our test papers, grades and stuff, on Tuesdays. I'm not doing that on Tuesdays. I'm doing it on Monday. So every Monday, I know this is what I need to get done. We send home all of our newsletters on Mondays. I'm not doing newsletter on Monday. I'm doing newsletter on Friday before I leave. So this productivity system helps me. That way, when I leave on Friday, I'm not overwhelmed with what I have to do Monday morning. That's due Monday. It's not due Monday. It is due Monday, but I did it on Friday. So creating a productivity system is absolutely going to help you not feel overwhelmed by your to-do list. Will your to-do list still be there? Yes. That's never gone away. If anybody can figure out how to get that to go away, I'd like to know. But it will still be there, but it won't be so daunting. Another big struggle I see is people who don't know where to begin with all the things on their desk or on their shelves. That was one thing I got reached out to the most about on Instagram was there's all these papers on my desk, on my shelves. What do I do with them? And I'm going to be honest with you. I prefer to make as many of my things digital as possible. I just find it's easier whenever I can search for things if things are digital. But I do know that there are certain things that have to be physical, and that's okay. So those things are nice and neat in a binder, and I'm also a big fan of the 10-drawer cart. There's hardly ever any papers on my desk unless it's something that is like what I'm working on. When we get stuff from our teacher mailbox that we need to pass out, it goes straight on a student's desk, and that student knows as soon as they see a stack of 24 of the same sheet, it needs to be passed out. It's probably something from the office. So why is organization, procedures, and systems so important? I like to think of O.P.S as the corner pieces to your puzzle. So if you have a large puzzle to do, you start thinking about it. And you're like, okay, the corner pieces, the end pieces, that's what I do first usually. When I'm putting together a puzzle, I put all of those pieces in together. So After you put those in, you start filling in the others. It makes it a little bit easier to build off of it. So think of OPS as your corner pieces to your puzzle. Without organizations and procedures and systems, everything else is a lot more difficult. It's not that it can't be done, but it just takes more time. And more time is not what we want to give up. We want to spend our time at home or traveling or doing whatever we want to do, correct? So you want to think of this as your corner pieces. This is your foundation. Making sure things are organized is going to help your brain free up space so you can think more clearly whenever you're creating your systems and whenever you're being consistent with your procedures. You want to make sure you are planning so you can teach and then prosper, okay? So what could life be like if these things were not an issue anymore? So if you take away those three biggest struggles, so this is how you could feel. You would feel Beyonce-style confident walking out of school after dismissal, knowing you were on top of your to-do list. So I told you I leave after those kids get on the bus every day. There are a few times that I have stayed. I'm not going to say never. There are a few times that I've stayed, but 90% of the time, I'm walking out behind the buses. So you will feel confident that you've got enough done that everything else is good till tomorrow when you can tackle it again. Because like I said, the list is not going away, but the daunting feeling of that list can absolutely be minimized. You could also strut into your next meeting with access to all of your needed files in the palm of your hands. I'm going to teach you how to utilize your planner, whether that be paper or digital, to where you can have things easily accessible, ready to go next time you go to your meeting. To where grabbing your planner on your laptop is the easiest thing you can do, so that way you know exactly what you need for your meeting and you're ready to go. Your students will be accountable for their part in maintaining the classroom. Whenever you hear your students start checking the others, like, oh, you didn't do that, you didn't pick that up, you will know this is where my OPS has absolutely been the foundation of my classroom. So once you start holding your students accountable, they will start holding the other ones accountable. As high as you raise the bar, they will meet it. And what you allow is what will continue. If I don't allow them to line up for specials or anything else without cleaning up their desk, then they will continue to do that. You know, you want to make sure that you are consistent, and it can be a pain in the beginning of the year, but that consistency will help lay the foundation for the rest of the year. I promise you. So how can we solve these problems? So I would like to introduce you to my organization blueprint. So we start with our organization blueprint by taming the chaos. So you want to first start by being reflective. You want to shift your mindset and pinpoint what is working in my class, because there are things that are working. There are absolutely things that are working. Then you're going to create a plan. Figure out what is not working and why. Why are these things not working? Why are my students not transitioning like I want? Is my procedure not clear enough? Is my procedure not communicated well enough? Then we're going to create an action plan. So taming the chaos is all about creating that mindset that you will be the teacher you want to be. After that, we go into utilizing your planner, whether that be digital or paper. We're going to customize your planner so that way your to-do list can be mastered. If everything is where it needs to be within your planner, then you can absolutely be on top of your to-dos and you can create a sustainable planning system, okay? You want to make sure that your planning is as effective as possible so you can work those contract hours and go. Then next, we move into systematizing your teacher and student materials. So after you started, you want to make sure you shift your mindset and you're starting to create that planning system before you start figuring out where all the things go. Now, we will absolutely work through what are some ideas on where I can keep all of these things, but we will learn ideas for organizing materials, creating an organization plan, and holding those students accountable. I will show you examples all the way from a lower elementary to an upper elementary classroom and in between, so that way you can have ideas. So don't think this is just something for 5th grade teachers. It's absolutely not. From there, my favorite is to implement routines and procedures. We will learn new ideas for routines and procedures and create a list of procedures so that way you can go ahead with the school year and be ready to go. I will give you a list of print and go procedures. It's about like 8 or 9 pages of procedures ready to go so you can start the school year, check things off, teach those procedures, and be consistent. And we will also discuss establishing a parent communication plan. because you want to make sure the parents have your back when you're implementing these procedures, so that way they understand exactly what they need and what you need from them. And last but not least, you want to organize your small groups. So you want to develop a small group plan. How are you going to use your small group? What is the intention of your small group? Is it going to be to remediate? Is it going to be to enhance? You want to figure out a plan for your small groups. Then I'm going to help you create a plan for your data documentation. Data documentation was a very stressful thing for me a couple of years ago. I was told I had to document every single thing I did with every single child in small group on this piece of paper. And then at the end of the school year, I had this big old binder full of documentation to turn in, and they didn't want any of it. They only wanted the documentation for the students that failed, which was like 2 pages. So all of the rest of it got trashed. Well, instead of killing trees, I decided that I was going to document digitally. So at the end of the year, I can export 2 little PDFs to whatever students needed to be turned in their documentation, and that was it. So I will help you create a plan for your data documentation and how to organize materials for your small groups, because that can be a headache in itself. So next thing I want to know, and we talked about this a little bit in the Plan to Prosper video, is tell me your Enneagram number. In the chat, tell me if you've taken the Enneagram test. I talked a little bit about it in the series, and I really think that's kind of what makes this course a little bit different. I want you to tell me your Enneagram number. I share that I am a type 3, which means that my classroom has clearly defined expectations, so students, have a lot of opportunity to grow. I'm naturally a positive person, so I am a type 3. So if you can, in the chat, tell me which one you are. I know my chat is a little bit delayed, but basically what I want to tell you is that no matter what your Enneagram is, you can discuss all the different parts of your personality and how that may affect your classroom. Not that it's anything different than a type 3 classroom, but when it comes to looking at other teachers thinking, why do I not have it like that? Why do I not do it like that? It's because they may be a different personality. Okay, Betsy says she's a 9, which means she's relaxed. So she has a stress-free, happy classroom. So I've taught with a type 9. And a type 9 and a type 3 work well together. The kids learn the difference as well. But it's all about knowing what you are and what kind of environment you thrive in. So make sure that you understand what your Enneagram means. I love the home edit. The home edit has a part in their book where it talks about how you organize your classroom organize your home based on your Enneagram, and I just love reading all the different things about it. So we will talk about a plan on how you can create organization in your classroom based on your Enneagram. So you can either keep going like this, overwhelmed with constant to-dos, struggling to find things in piles of papers on your desk or your shelf and messy student desk. So this was me. Back in 2016, brought home a stack of papers, grading them at home. So you can either keep living like this, or if you join my program, life can be like this. You can create a consistent plan to tackle your to-do list, an organized system to keep your files digital or physical, and your students held accountable for their part in their organization of their classroom. So this is what my desk looks like at the end of every day. As you can see, is my to-do list still there? Yes. Are things checked off? Yes. We're good to go for the next day because I have that productivity system in place and I know when I need things, okay? So I believe that you can make this transformation just like I did in the few short years, and I've created this program to help you make the transformation. So I want to go ahead and introduce the Plan, Teach, Prosper Academy. And if you're on my email list, you got the offer introduction today. And I had a few people sign up already. They're so excited. They've already started with the videos to get an organization and productivity system in their classroom. So we're going to go ahead and talk about just a few of the video topics included in the Plan, Teach, Prosper Academy. One of them is taming the chaos. That's all about shifting your mindset and becoming that teacher you want, reflecting on what's working and what's not working, utilizing your planner effectively, planning digitally or paper. You will receive a paper planner and a digital teacher planner with this course at no extra charge to make sure that you are utilizing your planner, and I teach you how to use both of them. And we will also discuss what to put in your planner to help make your life easier. So that way when you go into that meeting, you feel better. Organizing your student and teacher materials. I will walk you through all the different ways you can organize student materials and teacher materials. I'm not just going to show you how I organize student materials. I'm going to show you many different examples from lower elementary to upper elementary like I am. We will also discuss classroom routines and procedures, and we'll talk about how to create the routines and procedures that you need in your room. I will give you a printable that has ready to go, print and go procedures, so that way you can start teaching them on the first day of school. And we will also discuss how important it is to have that foundation on the first day of school when it comes to routines and procedures. We will also discuss small group organization, lessons, supplies, data tracking, and all of the things. And we will discuss moving classrooms, as well as beginning of the year, end of the year planning, and so much more. So let's go ahead and take this for a test drive. So let's go ahead and look at what you get when you get to the Plan, Teach, Prosper Academy. Okay, I'm just gonna wait, my chat is a little delayed. Make sure my screen switches. But when you sign up for the Academy, you will receive a login to the member portal. And when you log in, this is what you will see. So you will see access to all of the modules. As you can see going down here, we have 5 different modules and then some bonuses. Remember those 2 exclusive bonuses that I mentioned? If you sign up today, you will receive. Those are also included in here, as well as all of your templates. So you will receive this login, and it will be for this entire portal, and you will be able to see all of the videos. So just for example, when you click on module 1, you have all of the 4 lessons ready to go. So the first lesson is your mindset. Second one, what's working, what's not, prioritizing tasks, and utilizing your daily and weekly pages. So as we go down to organizing teacher and student materials, as you can see, we have plenty of videos on organizing your area, organizing your paper items, your digital items, your student items, and holding your students accountable. And then I talk about the magic of a 10-drawer cart and how it can help get that clutter off of your desk and into a place of its own. So that's just a few of the modules. When we talk about classroom routines and procedures, I also give you a day in my classroom in a flash to kind of walk you through everything, so that way you can figure out just maybe more hands-on what exactly goes on in my classroom. And of course, we talk about why they're important, and as well as communication with parents. So you will receive, on top of the 2 bonuses, if you sign up today, 4 other bonuses. So I discussed back to school planning and organizing. So this is a great lesson. So if you're starting the year, let's say next year, you can refresh yourself with this video. Okay, I need to make sure I have these things ready for the first day of school. And we also talk about end of year planning and organizing. When you're not moving a classroom, that looks completely different than when you are moving. So I give you my best tips and tricks and a few products of mine that will help you finish out the year and make sure you're organized to make August or September, when you go back, a better success. Okay? We also talking about moving classrooms. I am finishing up year 10 in classroom number 7. I've moved classrooms more than I'd like to admit, but I absolutely can help you and give you my tips and tricks for moving classrooms, so that way you can help it be as smooth as possible. I've moved schools to where like my whole school moved. I've done that twice, and I've moved many a times. And we'll also talk about going paperless. These are the 2 bonus ready to go for you if you sign up today. They're ready to go, and there may be a 3rd bonus coming later this week. Maybe if you sign up today, you'll of course get it, but there may be a bonus that you may be interested in. Now, this template library is where you can find all of the gold, right? So this is your course workbook with every single lesson video. You have a workbook page that accompanies it and will help you work through everything. Now, you also have your planners. I did mention that you get a paper planner and a digital planner, so those can be downloaded right here. And then you also have labels and templates. As you can see, all of these are downloadables. We have print and go procedures, my pencil policy, an end of year memory book. We have an end of year checklist. We have moving labels, small group documentation page, classroom newsletter template, meet the teacher newsletter template, teacher toolbox templates, 10 drawer cart labels. and editable classroom labels, and daily to-do lists. So all of these are ready to print and go whenever you are ready. So all of this is included inside of the Plan, Teach, Prosper Academy. Now, you may see this coaching button at top. We will be having individual coaching available for an extra charge, but with your purchase of the Plan, Teach, Prosper Academy, you get everything you just saw, plus 6 months of monthly Q&As inside of our exclusive Facebook group. So you will get access to that exclusive Facebook group, as well as, let's go back to this. So you will get 6 months of live Q&A group coaching where you can ask your questions and get things done, or we can discuss a certain topic inside of our Facebook community. But if you have something that is constantly just bugging you in the middle of the year, you don't know what to do, you don't know where to start, and you need that 30-minute coaching, that is available as well for $20. We can talk about 30 minutes of coaching, and we can get your stuff worked out for you and get it ready to go. So all of this is included for $117. So you're getting the 2 planners, you're getting classroom labels, 10-drawer cart labels, teacher toolbox labels, you're getting your moving labels, your Meet the Teacher newsletter, your classroom newsletter. All of these things are included with the workbook and the videos and the Facebook group and the 6 months of coaching for $117. So don't take it from me. Take it from some students that I've worked with. This is Devin. She is a 5th grade teacher. She says, I used to spend my afternoon staying late after school, picking things up that were lying around. During my planning time, I would be overwhelmed not knowing where to start with my to-do list. Using Christy's techniques, I feel so much more accomplished during the school day instead of after. That's important. You want to feel accomplished during the day, not at 5 p.m. whenever your husband or somebody else is calling you asking you what's for dinner. And this is JC, a 3rd grade teacher. She says, I cannot recommend working with Christy enough. Her guidance and techniques and organization changed my classroom. I enter my days feeling refreshed and not overwhelmed with clutter and unnecessary stress. So our students will absolutely learn from what we model, right? They say all the time, you need to model what you want them to do. Especially as a math teacher, they preach that we need to model. If we don't keep our area clean, then they won't do the same. So once we start taking ownership for our area and all of our things, they will pick up on that and it will trickle down. So we want to make sure that we have high expectations and we are consistent, because sometimes the only consistent thing in their life is us. So we want to make sure that we are teaching them the best that we can, how to take care of our things, and make sure that we are a classroom, we are a family, and we want to make sure everything is nice and neat. So remember, the biggest thing I said from my video series is you don't have to do it all yourself. You want to keep those students accountable. In my course, I talk a lot about a 2nd grade teacher that is at my school, that her classroom is always neat. And she teaches all subjects 2nd grade, all of them. And their books are exactly where she tells them to be, and it's all organized. I also show you a 1st grade classroom in my school where it is the exact same way. But she does not allow them to transition to the next thing until we are finished and we have picked up this current thing. So remember, you don't have to do it all yourself. Staying late after school to clean up is no longer a thing you need to do. We have to hold our students accountable to make sure that they are assisting us. So the doors are open to the Plan, Teach, Prosper Academy. I would love for you to join us and allow me to be your coach. What do you have to lose? You're coming back from anything but normal school year. So let's step on the right foot and let's join and come together in this Facebook community. Join the members that have already joined and make sure that we have the best foot forward for this school year. I'm going to go ahead. Oh, this is the link, www.bit.ly/Plan, Teach, Prosper Academy. Or if you scroll down, if you're in the webinar room, you can see the Buy Now button that I'm in. And it will absolutely bring you to my sales page, and you can read over everything else you'll have. If you have any questions, you can put them in the chat and I will answer them. But there are a lot of frequently asked questions on my sales page that might help you. But I'm going to go ahead and take a few questions that I had from earlier. The first one is, will we have access to the videos for a lifetime? So you will have lifetime access to this course, for as long as I am around, God willing. So yes, you will have lifetime access to this course. I I don't foresee there being extensive updates, but if there are updates, you will absolutely get that. You get 6 months of coaching. After that 6 months, you will be offered to join us again for another 6 months for an upgrade, but the course, that will all stay with your one payment. So another person asked, I've been teaching for a few years, can I still benefit from this? Yes. I think you can, if you've benefited from the video series, then I think you can absolutely benefit from the course, because I've had a lot of teachers that have worked for a couple of times. I mean, I've worked for many years more than me, and they still learn whenever we're discussing things in PLC. So I feel like we're always learning off of each other. And there's always more things that we can learn. So if anybody else has any other questions, remember, if you join today, you get those 2 exclusive bonuses. You get the one with Michelle Martinez, all about interview and resume tips, and then also about writing and funding grants for your classroom from Dawn Ellis from Cultivating Exceptional Minds. And she will help you start your first grant and get it funded, so that way you are ready to go for the school year when it comes to all of your organization. Okay? So if there's no other questions, please reach out to me on Instagram or through email and let me know if you have any questions. I would love to help you, and I would love if you would trust me to be your coach. I hope you guys have a great night. We'll see you next time.